Hey, great videos. Love the content. Keep it up, man. By the way, we put out a hit on you. We are going to find you and kill you. Love the content, though. I have the best fans on YouTube. Hello! I am Aoyalaipe, and I like to hop into top tier matches in War Thunder, and then personally kill the entire enemy team by myself. Welcome to my channel. So I recently got introduced to a bunch of other YouTubers, right? And I was like, "Hi, I'm Aoyalaipe. I do top tier arcade." And they had a lot of questions because that's just a weird sentence, like inherently for many reasons. So one of the main questions was, how the hell do you deal with those two squadrons? Oh, and Tim from Tim's Variety said I must have found some sort of secret sauce to make top tier arcade fun. And then I was like, "Yo, Tim, can I put that video?" He was like, "Yes, I'm like." One thing I just hear over and over and over again is that top tier squadrons like VPO and GUUD ruin the game. Ruin it. Utterly ruin it. Straight up unplayable.
Bah! Humbug!
Now, if you're unfamiliar with top tier arcade squadrons, the main difference is that this one is Horde and this one is Alliance. They tend to hate each other's guts because War Thunder is a very competitive video game in general, and TTAA in particular has no rules, no honor, and absolutely no mercy. So if you're like a maniac who solo queues into top tier arcade matches, there's two basic ways to deal with them. The first method is the boring one that's going to ruin my retention rate. VPO and GUUD tend to organize their Doom stacks only at the literal highest battle rating or one notch lower, so you can avoid them by juking your battle rating. At the time of publishing, the best planes are 12.7. The highest practical arcade lineup, however, is only 12.3, so if you're at 11.0 or lower, you will virtually never see an organized group of VPO or GUUD players. If you're at 11.3, it can still happen, but it will be rare. That's option one. The second method is the fun one, utterly shameless guerrilla warfare, and repeatedly pull total Viet Cong bullshit on them until they have nightmares about War Thunder terrain features. So I'm gonna dip over here and hide behind this large rock formation. And the basic background of this game is I had a friend who's like, so how do you deal with GUUD and VPO? As I said, it's a very common question. And I was like, okay, dude, give me like 20 minutes, let me get totally in the zone, then I'll grab my whole lineup and I'll show you. So with this game here, about half the enemy players are part of the VPO or GUUD umbrellas. It's a 12v12 and there's 2 GUUDs and 3 VPOs on the other team. Note that VPO tends to sort of collect sub-squadrons not named VPO. ITRA is one of these. It's part of VPO, at least at the moment. You know, it's a video game, these things change. Now, the golden rule when fighting VPO or GUUD solo is that you absolutely cannot let them pin you down in a proper dogfight ever at any point, ever, no matter what, ever. No matter what. They coordinate in comms and they know what they're doing. You will lose. But Aoyalaipe, don't you have to dogfight them to kill them? No, that's not a rule. Besides, all of their go-to strategies and tactics are built around the assumption that you will actually try to have a stand-up fight with them. And the flaw with that approach is that I don't want to have a stand-up fight and they can't make me. I'd rather play hide and seek with my AIM-9Ms and pop out of cover to make lightning-fast attacks, where I fire off decently aimed missiles as fast as possible and then vanish into thin air before these guys have any time to react. Welcome to Top Tier. The jungle speaks AIM-9M. Unfortunately, for them, these squadron guys can't just ignore me because if they'll do, I'll just ambush them with AIM-9Ms, which is bad. That's how you wind up in wacky YouTube killstreak montages. However, these VPO and GUUD players can't use any of the very shortcuts skilled TTAA players normally rely on to maintain sufficient situational awareness, because those shortcuts are all based on the assumption that they can actually see me, which they can't. They instead need to constantly monitor the map and all their sources of information for brief glimpses of me, and then try to logically deduce where my approximate position should be. But the human brain doesn't have the bandwidth to do that, while also keeping track of all the other madness constantly happening in a Raid arcade match. I have, in effect, organized a DDoS attack on their brain. If they focus enough on me to avoid being ambushed by AIM-9Ms, then they won't be able to focus enough on my teammates, who will then nail them with missiles and gradually attrition away their GUUD planes. This is incredibly effective because VPO and GUUD's strength comes from their teamwork, but if you spam them with shenanigans, they can't keep track of what is happening. This largely neutralizes their teamwork advantage because they can't coordinate anything in the first place if they have no idea what's going on.
The answer is more chaos.
So I effectively control the time and manner of our engagements, and I choose to engage via an endless series of annoying ambushes. It's amazing how hard one guy can just totally throw a monkey wrench into a top tier arcade match if they're really determined to do that. After all, your friend can't win Monopoly if you flip over the board and then stab them to death. This might seem like a really bastard way to play the game. Anyways, as I explained earlier, TTAA has no rules, no honor, and no mercy. Everything is fair by definition. If someone's better at plotting and scheming than you are, then that's a skill issue. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you can start having a good time. You know, don't be like Gary. And if you're like, wait, who's Gary? Then you need to play more TTAA. Let me quickly refresh you on the mechanics here. Now, as I explained in a video 2 months ago, if one enemy player sees you, then your position is reported to all enemy players. So if I hide somewhere where literally no one can see me, and my opponents don't, then I can see them, but they can't see me. That makes it very easy for me to pay attention, plot, scheme, and set up ambushes. Meanwhile, it's a pain in the ass for them to figure out where I am and what I'm doing. And more importantly, they haven't quite figured out what I'm up to. They will in a moment. So I'll just go ahead and fast forward to that part. So as you can see here, the VPO and GUUD kill squads have both figured out where I am, and they've shown up to teach me a lesson at the same time, by shooting me with missiles. The problem is that missiles don't go through mountains, so if I just fly away while ducking behind all the random ridges that are around here and spamming my countermeasures for good measure, they can't really kill me. They try to chase me down, but I can reach my airfield before they can close to within gun range and force an actual fair fight. If they fly over my airfield low enough to shoot me, they'll just get killed by the AAA, so they have to turn back, and they also assume running away, so they stick around to dogfight other people in the area. But I'm not running away. Instead, I just turn around and mow them down. I fired 2 AIM-9Ms at that last guy, even though one probably would have done it, because I wanted to get my reload timer going. And once my reload timer's going, I'm just going to go run back to my rock of safety and hide behind it like a bastard again. They didn't realize I went back to the exact same hiding spot as I have the whole match, so I just pop out and ambush them again. There's a reason I have a history of driving players in this game to the literal point of madness. Now, you might have noticed that my accuracy with AIM-9Ms is kind of really super sucky because I'm only going for decent shots. I can get up quickly so I can go hide behind my rock again. But I do want to point out, just for measure, that all the missiles aimed at me this game will be 0% effective. Now, this F-16 pops out in front of me and I said, what the hell, I'll shoot him. Why not? The coast is clear after all. Now, arcade might give you the little lead indicator, but it can still actually be incredibly difficult to hit targets this high up in arcade because they're moving really fast. If you're a realistic player, you're probably used to making gun kills on people who have been significantly slowed down by a dogfight. So then my AIM-9M cooldown pops, and I'm like, yeah, screw it, let's just blow him up. Now, it looks to me like this ITRA/VPO guy here got killed when he came looking for me because it got swarmed by like all my random teammates. The most common term I hear for these types of players is no-name, but I personally prefer the term sponge, because they aren't a real threat individually, but they will collectively soak up all of your intention and bullets if you aren't careful. And if I kill the enemy sponges, then my team sponges will tend to swarm the players I'm actually concerned about, because those are the only targets left. Like, the sponges won't be distracted by the other sponges. In an extreme form, there have been several cases where I've decided to defeat one individual person by killing their entire team while they chase me, and then I just sit back and relax while they get swarmed because they're the only guy left. One guy actually put my battle rating after I did that to him twice in a row. He was this like obnoxious troll, so I just decided to have fun with him. Now, you might have noticed that this MiG-19 player just dodged 2 AIM-9Ms without flares. Like, this guy is good. Well, actually, this guy is VPO, but and he's trying really, really hard to close to gun range and force a dogfight. If I take the time to dogfight him, his friends will kill me. So I'm going to hide behind the rock and then go ambush his teammates on the other side. It can be really, really annoying to fight me sometimes. As I said, I don't want to dogfight, and they can't make me. And as you can see, if you don't dogfight these guys, it throws a total monkey wrench into all of their plans. As best as I can tell, their only counter move so far is that they will go out of their way to kill me at the start of the match before I shoot down their best planes. That's why they leave comments on my videos being like, your videos are awesome. Also, we're so gonna kill you for this. Now, you might think it's strange that I'm spamming my afterburner when I'm basically out of gas. Like, aren't I gonna just run out of gas and die? Yes, I am. My one-plane shenanigans is something I do against teams full of sponges. If I'm out hunting for VPO or GUUD specifically, then yeah, sure, I'll just run my jet out of gas, bail out, and then go get a new one. I have another 6 planes, and this current exchange ratio works just fine for me. You have to remember that I'm cutting it really, really close here. These players are extremely skilled. If I turn my afterburner off or let my guard down at all, I will die immediately. This is what happens to me here. I'm about to run out of gas, and I'm like, what the hell, I'll just go for a gun kill, and I let my guard down, and I'm immediately raked by bullets. I survived, though, thanks to dumb luck. Now, I'm going to use my last bit of gas to slam my afterburner again and get me out of here. They can't follow me and finish me off because they're stuck dogfighting my team's sponges. Now, my engines finally died, but my missiles reloaded, so I'm just going to drench this poor F-16 and AIM-9Ms, and that was just total overkill. Now, I'm close enough to my airfield that I can actually make it, so I might as well try. And I take down this poor MiG-23 while I'm gliding in for an emergency landing. I am going to milk every single last kill I possibly can out of this plane. Now, a random F-5C player finally gets a gun kill on me, but I can still theoretically glide to the airfield and repair. And I'm gonna try, and I'm not quite gonna make it. Oh well, I mean, it's not like having a 15 kill streak while GUUD and VPO kill squads are chasing you is necessarily a bad outcome. So I pop my F-16 ADF. Yeah, I know, I sometimes fly 2 planes in one match. Who would have thought that? And I take down a few more GUUD and VPO players right off the bat. However, one of them I don't kill him immediately, I only credit him. It takes like a minute for him to crash for me to get the credit. Now, at this point, I'm thinking the match is basically over, and the Squadron guys are really scraping the bottom of the barrels for planes anyway, so there aren't really any real threats left that can touch me, so I can finally just relax and coast to the end of the game. It takes a few seconds for one of the VPO guys to jump out of nowhere and shoot my wing off. As it turns out, they will like really super duper extra want you dead if you pull a stunt like this. In hindsight, I probably should have just hid behind my rock again. I mean, after all, that worked fine so far, right? My new plan is to run away in a straight line and hope the game ends before the VPO guy can kill me and collect credit. And I also try to shoot an AIM-7 at this F4J, and that puts my plane into an uncontrollable spin, and the VPO guy is able to catch up to me and kill me in time. The game is so close to over, there really is no point in respawning, so we're just going to sit here and watch. This is going to be a real nail-biter, and that, my friends, is how you can take on VPO and GUUD kill squads at the same time by yourself and win. As a side note, if you subscribe and ring the bell, you won't need to remember how to spell Aoyolaipe next time you want to watch one of my videos. The moral of this story is that the best way to fight a group of skilled players is to target their situational awareness. That's the weakest link. Well, you can put a serious dent in that all by yourself. If you brought a few friends and you each hid behind different rocks, everything I explained in this video will get exponentially easier for you. As long as you are a viable threat and you also make yourself hard to find, hard to catch, and hard to kill, then you'll throw them off their game and you can just whittle them down one by one. Happy ambushing! In the meantime, here are some other videos you should totally go watch.